Prince Harry has chosen his battlefield, and once again, it's not a noble cause, not duty, not service, but a petty, thin-skinned rivalry with the brother whose shadow he cannot escape. The timing was no accident. The Duke of Sussex announcing yet another public mission to Toronto within minutes of Prince William stepping onto Brazilian soil for the Earthshot Prize wasn't coincidence, it was strategy. Or rather, the clumsiest attempt at strategy from a man who has traded dignity for drama and substance for spite. This was Harry's latest tantrum disguised as a global initiative, a transparent ambush crafted not to uplift the world but to undermine his brother. William arrives in Brazil to spotlight environmental innovation. Harry immediately scrambles into action with a conveniently timed travel announcement. Why? Because in the restless echo chamber of his insecurity, William taking center stage is intolerable. The future king leads, the spare reacts. And in this case, reacts with the subtlety of a bull in a china shop. Let's call it what it is, Harry's self-inflicted rivalry with William has become his only political program, his only agenda, his only engine. Strip away the speeches, the Netflix monologues, the staged emotional revelations, and you are left with a man who cannot stand that life has long moved on without him, and flourished. There is a bitterness simmering beneath Harry's every public move. For all the talk of independence and finding his voice, his actions scream dependence, dependence on relevance borrowed from the institution he abandoned, dependence on headlines shaped by his feud with his brother, dependence on drama as his currency. The moment William rises in global stature, Harry scratches for attention like a child banging pots in the kitchen hoping someone notices. And Meghan? She stands right beside him, smiling through the optics, fully aware that their public brand breathes through conflict with the monarchy. Their fortunes, financial and reputational, rely on Harry never healing, never reconciling, never rising above resentment. Peace doesn't sell. Resolution doesn't trend. The Sussex playbook requires tension, and nothing threatens them more than William commanding the world stage, respected, focused, and dignified. Brazil was not just a royal visit. It was William stepping into global leadership, environmental responsibility, diplomacy, innovation. No scandals, no cries for sympathy, no victimhood narratives. Just work. Substance. A future king fulfilling his purpose without theatrics or self-pity. So Harry had to interrupt. Had to stomp loudly enough so cameras might swivel. But the problem is, the world has matured beyond his antics, even if he hasn't. The more William earns influence, the more Harry clings to the only momentum he knows, sabotage disguised as activism. His declaration that titles will go was the loudest alarm bell yet. When a man weaponizes the very royal identity he claims to resent, and threatens to strip titles in a feud he chose, he reveals not strength, but panic. Harry doesn't want out of the monarchy. He wants control over it. He wants power from the institution without discipline for it. He wants the privileges without the sacrifice, the glamour without the duty, the titles without the expectations, and more importantly, he wants William's position without earning William's respect. This isn't rebellion rooted in principle, it's rebellion rooted in envy. And Meghan, polished as ever, supports the theatre because this rivalry is their fuel. If Harry someday woke up healed, content, and at peace with his place in the world, if he truly moved forward as he pretends to, what would they sell next? What book remains unwritten? What interview remains unperformed? What sympathy currency remains uncashed? Harry does not see that every stunt further cements his place not as a visionary outsider, but as a hanger-on, orbiting the royal world he fled but cannot survive without. The Earthshot Prize is shaping into a defining global movement. Meanwhile, Harry's initiatives increasingly look like emotional press releases masquerading as purpose. This isn't rivalry. It's desperation. Every time Harry tries to upstage William, he only heightens the contrast. William appears measured, prepared, focused. Harry appears reactionary, impulsive, bitter. William brings global leaders together. Harry brings talking points about trauma while quietly longing for the throne he publicly rejects. One brother aims at legacy, the other at headlines. There comes a point where the public stops seeing a rebel and starts seeing a man out of his depth, consumed by bitterness, clutching for relevance, and publicly unraveling under the weight of his own choices. Harry crossed that point long ago. His war is not with William, it's with himself. With the life he forfeited. With the duty he despised but now misses. With the realization that he walked away from the only structure that ever gave him purpose, not because it oppressed him, but because he never learned to rise within it. Prince William is building something. Prince Harry is reacting to it. One is a statesman, the other an echo. And echoes eventually fade.